Hello! Welcome to Power Pals. My name beeth Andrew DeWitt, and joining me on this campfire chat are two strange travelers who hail from certain strange lands, from outer space. There is Mike Block.
Hello.
And fresh off a hot dump is Avery.
I was going to be classy.
Hot in all manner of speaking.
Yeah.
A super hot dump.
In whatever way you want that to mean.
Some of our German fans are going to be really happy right now.
Full disclosure to ruin those boners. I took a dump at the Oh, man. What is this show called?
Well, it's right behind you. That's right. It's called The Power Pals. Andrew is lost in the grid. Oh, he's back.
And Avery, what is this show about?
I thought I muted myself. Welcome to the world of technology. This show is about the stuff we want to talk about. That's nerdy stuff like comic books and movies and collectibles and toys, probably stuff you like too. And because we're delinquents, we often get not safe for work and pervy. So if that checks all or some of your boxes, this is the show for you.
Yes.
It checks deep inside those boxes. All right, let's go. Have you guys been playing any game? Oh, God. I almost dropped a lamp on myself.
Live action pratfalls.
Have you guys been playing any...
Everything just cuts out.
There we go. This is the lamp I have on my bed with me because my face is going to get dark in the night.
That happens.
Just like your dreams.
My face gets dark in the night, and so do my dreams. What kind of monologue would that be in a movie? Some wannabe movie. My face gets dark in the night, just like my dreams do. Everything gets dark. My thoughts, the wall.
My heart.
My junior high journal.
The hamper.
I had a friend in high school who wanted to be a really tough, scary guy. The problem was he had a high-pitched Southern accent that went through his nose, and he looked like a giant teddy bear, and he was the least mean person ever. But he really, really wanted to give it a shot. And he used to constantly talk about his violent dreams that he would have to like spook us out. And he would be like, my dreams are a bloodbath of epic proportions. No, they are not. He goes, we're talking disembowelments, beheadings. And I was like, okay.
Right.
Are you just looking these words up? Is that what you're doing?
Disembowelments and beheadings. All right. Okay.
Demonstrations.
There were entrails and plasma.
Lower intestine, upper intestine, large intestine. The pancreas was
no vital organ was spared.
Spinal columns were involved. Torn spinal columns. Opened. Let's see. What else do I want to talk about? He's like a comic. He's like
tendons. A lot of tendons were.
I did the decapitated heads. I did the disembowelments. I got all that stuff there. Entrails is. Oh, that's right. Entrails is intestines. Oh man! Yeah,
I remember the most vivid sounding threat to me was from the Three Amigos. It wasn't even an action movie. It was El Guapo when he says, I'm going to pull out their intestines and squeeze the shits out of them.
I mean,
and I was like, God, that sounds fucked up.
It does. I mean, Whatever. I guess it's a pretty dark guy. I mean,
Well, if wanting to be makes you a thing, then yes.
he's,
He's,
he's the
a
kind
very,
of dark, disturbed, lone individual that immediately got taken for $80,000 by a stripper the first time he went to a strip club because he thought he was her boyfriend.
$80,000.
$80,000 over the course of a few years. He kept
Oh,
seeing
okay. I was
the
like, in
same
one
stripper.
night? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
damn.
Kept seeing the same stripper, $80,000 in debt.
Well, he didn't accidentally shoot her, did he?
No, he did not.
Or run her over with his
No,
car?
he did not. He did what all dark and mysterious dudes do, which is he went to work for his mother's company to pay back the debt.
He's a man haunted by many demons in his past. $80,000 worth of demons.
That's a lot of money, man.
That is.
Yep.
Do you recall what I'm referencing when I say, did he shoot the stripper or run her over accidentally?
Oh, yes. When the first time I played that game, Grand Theft Auto, Vice, was it
Yes.
Vice City, or which one was it?
It was Grand Theft Auto 4, I think, or maybe 5. It was pretty
Grand Theft
recent.
Auto 5.
But they had actually mastered strip clubs, and the women looked hot. I would say, in a way that maybe overhyped strip clubs in real life, because that is not the ratio of hot women in a strip club during the day. This was daytime.
This was daytime. Although I appreciate
Fantasy world.
I appreciate an ugly face and a little bit of sloppy on the titties and stuff.
Yeah, and there really wasn't any of that in the strip club.
She's shaking her head. No, gross, sloppy titties.
I'm sorry. I am such a snob with chicks. Like, although it's funny now that you say that. Every now and then I'll see something in a girl that appeals to me in like a really bizarrely primal, like almost dudeish way, where I'm like, she looks dumb as shit. I'd like to fuck her, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, where did that come from? Like, that is not in my playbook usually.
Hey, dumb girls need love too.
Yeah,
probably more than anyone.
More, yeah.
Because they're so dumb.
They can't all be reading Shakespeare and stuff.
Yeah.
Mike, you take that back, because I feel like dumb girls have a great life. It's
okay. If I will add the caveat, if they're dumb and hot, they have a great life. If they're dumb and not very hot,
no, man,
they have a incredibly rough, full plate of a life.
But maybe they don't realize it. Maybe they're so dumb they don't have the capacity to realize how bad it is. Maybe they're
so imagine how much it hurts when they find out.
No, they never find out, because no one in their church choir group is going to tell them. They have an amazingly carefree life. Going to Walmart, going to church, having terrible opinions. The only thing they think about is what kind of hot dog they're going to have for lunch. Dude, what a life.
Let's really hope that that's the case. That is my wish for all the dumb, not incredibly hot girls.
There is nothing more depressing than being a super hot, super smart girl.
That's the worst.
Yeah. That's got to be real rough.
The winning the lotto, and it totally wouldn't be. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You take the DSMV-4 and just like flip a page open and point to it, and they got it. It's like single one, because the world is just a horrible Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Of knowing why people are talking to them and now all the ramifications. It's just the worst. It's got to be the worst.
Yeah, it's Clarice Starling at the end of the movie. Now, when she knows that everyone is a bag of shit.
Yeah. Second to that, so the most miserable person is a super, super smart, super hot girl. Second to that is a super ugly genius dude.
Yes. Yeah.
They are king and queen of misery.
Although, I bet you it's complicated, because they probably have to deal with a lot of that, like, it's different for like ugly, rich, smart guys can get girls like anyway, in spite of the being ugly. But somewhere inside, like that it's only like if you didn't have the money and
it's all trappings. It's not you,
Exactly.
But IQ.
But I think I would argue that that's the case with the really attractive girl too.
Yeah.
It's all the veneer. They don't actually like me.
Well, and that anybody who gets involved with, I mean, not that it's necessarily true, but if you're with a girl who's like a smoking hot model, yeah, you probably don't want to sit and talk about like philosophy with her. And if she's a philosophy doctorate or whatever, maybe that's what she wants to talk about. So
right. Yeah. She would really like it if you would stop jerking off and talk about philosophy.
Right?
Yeah, you should. You should always,
any name.
Always on a first date, ask what their doctorate is in. You have the appropriate conversations. You say, before I stop masturbating, what is your doctorate?
That is a bold choice on a first date.
It is a bold choice. Have you heard about this thing called Aaron dates?
No. Who is Aaron?
People did before coronavirus, where instead of going on a first date with someone, they run errands with them to see how they hold up with Aaron.
I don't like that.
God, that sounds awful.
Yeah. I see what they're trying to do, but like that's the kind of thing that like that's a choice you make about whether or not you want to invite someone into that level of familiarity and domesticity. Like you don't have to be able to go shopping with someone in order to like have a productive like fuck relationship with them,
Yeah. I think it would be terrible if you didn't know the person. I think it would be fun if you were already friends and you were dating. That's fine.
In fact, I would go further and say someone should run a site called Productive Fuck Relationship, because I think a lot of people would sign up for that shit pronto.
Yeah.
Coronavirus be damned.
They did. It was called Ashley Madison, and it turned out to be a huge scam.
Are you looking for more productivity in your fuck relationships?
Ashley Madison was more of a counterproductive fuck relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the hopeful theory with a lot of dudes was that it would be more productive than what they
yes. I'm a little bummed out about this digital crown that I'm wearing.
the crown of figures that you've earned.
Yeah, the crown of false hair. I did Darren Carter's podcast, and he's one of the nicest jewels of comedy, I would say, in Los Angeles. But he had been growing his hair out, and he's just as bald as I am.
Yeah, how did it look?
He was like, "How does it look?" And I was like, well, those chimpanzees that have like just a little bit, or like the orangutan that have like just this little soft layer
underneath.
And I'm not kidding. There are entire types of lighting that would render it invisible. You would not be able to see it at all. It's holographic hair. But yeah, so it was kind of like a scared straight thing for me when I saw it. I was like, well, don't ever try that shit. Just keep shaving.
Now, did he grow out the sides and back long like Gallagher, or what was he trying to do?
Well, I think he just, if I remember correctly, because really all I remember is the top. It was that unsettling. But I don't think he had tried on the sides. I think he kept shaving that and was just trying to yield a crop up here. And
but you don't shave it. That's not how it works, Mike.
But it was super thin and real weird.
Oh, maybe he's been doing those exercises because they do kind of work. The ones where you massage your scalp or whatever.
Like, this is a weird comparison, but the candy bar from Australia, the Violet Crumble?
Yeah, we talked about it on a couple episodes. I can't have it.
Right, and it's honeycomb.
Yes.
And bathed in chocolate.
Yes.
But when you bite into it, the honeycomb immediately dissolves. That's what I feel would happen to his hair if a lady stroked it.
Like
it would just, she'd like rub her fingers together, like, where did it go? And it would just be gone.
Oh, so it would be like a cotton candy hair, you know?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was cotton candy hair.
That's what you should tell him as a friend.
I did live on his podcast, and it was not the way to go.
No
He's such a
offense,
sweet
but
guy, and he was like, Mike Black came on my show and roasted me, and I was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that, but you asked for my opinion.
Well, it's rough. I guarantee you what he was doing was one of those massages that you find out about on the internet where you pay some idiot website $25 to send you a PDF of like how to rub your scalp, you know, to make it a little thicker, you know.
I have not heard about this, but it sounds horrible.
You don't remember Jerry showing us his new growth and stuff when he was doing it? So it does work.
I don't ever want to see or hear about Jerry's growth again.
No, goddamn.
Let me tell you about Jerry's new growth.
He did not show me his new growth.
Let me tell you about Jerry's thick new growth, guys.
His girthy new growth.
Oh, there's a little bit of a smell to it. But
did you get him talking about cave women? And he showed you his
growth. That's how he got the most growth, I feel like. But then
maximum growth.
But then I said our safe word, which is ass-eating roller coaster butthole train. All of his hair. But yeah, he was doing it, and he showed me it was working. You know, like it was working. But he was like, "Ah, man, you got to do it like all the time." And I was like, you know, maybe he was doing that. He was trying to show off his new growth.
Probably, but I shut it down. I think for his good, for his benefit.
Are you
but I don't know,
guys, Mike, who thinks so? You've got the sides and back of your hair. You don't do the whole shaved hair thing.
I do normally, but because of coronavirus, I just haven't bothered. I just don't give a shit right now.
Yeah. I don't want to.
I'm not seeing enough people on a daily basis to care. You know.
I don't want to do it. I want to have long hair with bald spots in it. Like I just want to do it.
Wait, you're not going bald though, are you?
No, I got a little. It's a little bit thin. You know, it's a little bit thin. I feel like, but only on like when I part it. You know, I only see it.
Okay.
Parts. My parts look a little bit like I'm. Hair's getting thinner.
I don't know how the genealogy works, but if the baldness gene in your family is happening, I would suggest going ahead and getting Rogaine or something, and that'll take care of it.
Oh no, but that makes your nuts small.
No, like 1 in 10, I think that happens to. And
it would happen to me. It would happen to me.
If it starts happening, you stop taking it.
You won't know it. It's too late. Mike, that's the problem.
I don't have enough nut to spare. I can't lose any. No, it doesn't shrivel your dick up or anything. I think it just stops you from getting boners.
Oh, that is what it does. Because I looked into it and I was like, oh man, that would suck though. To be like, look at this luxurious mane of hair. All these chicks want to fuck me. And then you're like, hold on a second.
Well,
hold on a second. You're doing Hail Mary prayers to God. Avery's over this. We'll change subjects. We'll talk about something.
All these chicks want to fuck me. I will say though, the one time I tried Rogaine was about
with Joe Rogan on a ranch.
No, this was this was like 2004, maybe earlier than that, when I first started like losing my hair, and I was the 1 in 10 that like, oh, it's affecting my boner, and I just stopped taking it and never looked back. I was like, no, fuck it, I'll just live with being bald.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Not worth it.
Yes, good decision, Mike. Good decision.
I think so, because
man, Jesus Christ.
Because, well, my first thought though, it was tempting to go like, Well, I just suck it up for a year and grow a shitload of hair, and then stop taking it.
But
But I
it
was
all
like, but
falls out as soon as you
You think it
stop.
would stop? Yeah.
you have like a month of glorious fucking.
1 month.
One solid month of gorgeous hair and fucking.
No,
It doesn't-
Mike.
It doesn't last for a month and then fall out. Like it would be falling out throughout that month. So really, you maybe only have like a week, and then a couple weeks in, girls would be grabbing clumps and like pulling out. Like, oh my god, what's going
Well, I
on?
had like the best image in my head of me fucking a girl really hard and all of my hair raining down on her while we were mid-fuck. And I was like, nope, we're not doing
great.
that.
Mike, I love it because it would end up being the flowers for Algernon of sex.
That's exactly it. It was the flowers of Algernon of baldness and fucking.
Because you'd be like, I have this amazing set of hair. I have to stop taking this medicine so that my clothes will work. And then you're like, you just have a month of like period, like scrambling as your hair's falling out all over the place.
And you know that whole month that it's coming, that
Yes.
it's like that you're losing hair, and that and,
There's a date, a timeline.
right. And one of the things that causes hair loss is stress.
Yep.
So you're probably like making it even worse than it is. Man.
Okay,
what a
can
rough-
I tell you my theory on this? So
Yes.
so like women just by nature like live in the mirror. We have a different existence than guys. Guys just don't spend as much time looking at themselves. And
Sure.
I think that being in quarantine and kind of being stuck in, having nowhere to go except for like, oh, maybe I'll go hang out in the bathroom for 20 minutes, that guys are doing stuff like looking at their hair and noticing it, because you guys are absolutely not the first. Every group therapy session I've been in, some guy has been like, I'm really embarrassed to talk about this, but I started taking Rogaine because I think I'm losing my hair. And I'm like, you guys are just looking at yourselves too much and going, look, there's a little bit less today than there was yesterday. And that's what we do all the time. So we're like, yeah, you probably are, but what are you going to do about it? It's so funny.
Well, I do that in the mirror all the time. I'm like, oh, is my hair getting thin? And then I go, but my tits still look fantastic. And I turn on my heel.
Pictures so you can compare. Do you ever do like I'm
Of
gonna
my
take
tits. Yeah.
no, not
all
of
the
your
time.
tits, of your of like a thing that you're worried about like, oh, is this spot growing or something like that?
Yes,
Do you ever do that?
Yes. I am losing weight. And so I take progress pictures, which are the most shameful pictures that I take.
Yeah.
They are the worst because I stand in front of a mirror with my underwear on.
Kind of trying to not look your worst, but just like show everything.
I don't want the before to look good, because I want the
Yeah.
after to be impressive, like, so.
Right.
Yeah.
All the angles,
Dude, I've also noticed that when I watch YouTube videos of people like progress pictures over like a year or whatever, and they take a picture of themselves every day for a year, it's always like the first one, huge gut. The second one, it looks like they've lost like 75 pounds because they're sucking in as much as they can. They immediately go from like boom to, and then it just stays the entire progress. But yeah, those are the worst. Taking progress pictures are the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the talk of the hair reminds me, have you guys ever seen, as John Carpenter fans, there was a TV movie, I think, in the early 90s called Body Bags. That's like an anthology type. That's
yeah, I remember it, and he would come out at the beginning.
yeah, and he's
Yeah,
like
right.
this morgue technician guy. He's like the host of it, kind of like a crypt keeper type thing.
Yes.
And there's a segment in there about a guy who's losing his hair and who like goes to like extreme lengths to get this treatment to get it fixed. And he has all that where he has like, it's basically exactly that story where he gets the treatment and has this amazing hair and has like one crazy wild night. And then the next morning things start going horribly wrong. And it's like, hope it was worth it.
It's always one night. It's always one thing. You get to pull off one thing, and then the universe goes, you look a little too happy.
Yeah. You didn't learn anything from this. We better fix it.
No, you didn't see the signage we posted all over the universe? Only wheels get to be happy. Like, since you're a good person, you gotta do more stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
So we didn't get to anything nerdy yet, but
No, because the world was falling down on you when you asked us about games.
oh yeah, that's right. Mike's universe fell down behind him.
As the
It did?
Yeah.
No, it's still there.
No, yes, but when you dropped your phone down, it looked like you were tumbling through space.
No.
Now you just disappeared. You just blinked out of existence. You know what it looks like? It looks like you have 2 beer cans stuck out of the top of your head. I know they're action figures, but like the way they're framed, it looks like you have 2 ice cold beer cans just in your brain.
I like a nice cold beer next to my brain.
It's like a progression of the beer can hat. It's like you're all just stick them right in there.
Yeah. Stick them in my head.
Yeah, Elon Musk showed a pig that he'd shoved a whole bottle of whiskey into his brain, made him run around and do shit.
Fuck.
So I've been playing Fallout 4 like fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that is a fun fucker.
Dude, isn't it, man? Isn't it fun?
I built an entire, you know how Tony Stark has a hall of armor for all of his different suits?
Yes.
I did that with power armor.
Oh, yes, Mike. Oh, yeah.
Man, I had a good time playing that game. And I purposefully didn't get too into learning all the tricks and trinkets of building stuff because I was like, if I learn this shit, I am gone for like a year and a half.
Yeah, dude, that's where I'm at right now. So I got it on PC first, but it was a little bit slow on my PC. So when it went on sale, there's like Sony does these flash sales all the time that are fucking awesome, where you can get like a great game of the year game for like $15 or $10. You know,
they usually have some pretty solid like AAA titles in there.
Yeah,
too.
dude, and I feel like it's totally worth it. You know, like those sales, they do a fucking great job with their sales.
Well, and for like slow gamers like us, like people who aren't like, oh, it came out and I have to prestige it by the end of the week, you know, it's totally the way to go.
Yeah, so I got it for PlayStation, and I hadn't remembered that, like, oh yeah, they let some mods in on PlayStation now, which is nice with the Bethesda games. Mm-hmm. So it was enough for me to like get excited about being able to play through it again. And so like I've been playing like this super evil lady who's a cannibal and I'm playing her as if she is mutating into a mutant, you know? So like she's this barbarian cannibal, never wears power armor, only wears like the crazy looking metal raider armor. And I bought that DLC where it gives you the Skyrim sword and hat. Mm-hmm. Sword and helmet from Skyrim. They put it in Fallout. They have a guy taking a dump with it on as his skeleton. He's sitting on the toilet taking a shit, and he's got the Skyrim helmet on because he was playing a Viking on some like television show right before the bombs dropped. And so he's like rocking a huge dump in costume when the bombs drop, and so then you see him. You open up a stall.
Elder Scrolls. It's like your perfect.
Yeah. Like... So it's I love it. I love doing that, and I've got this huge super sledge that's got like radioactive material on the front of it from the children of Adam, and I go around and I am super mean and awful and do super mean awful stuff. And my name is Split Lucy. I
like it.
And she's got
a bitchin' name.
I covered her with scars. She's got scars and chemical burns all over her face, tattoos all over her face. She's got like a warband stripe on and then like a little atom splitting on her forehead because she's in the Children of Adam gang or whatever faction. And then she just goes around eating settlers and stuff, you know? It's awesome. I can't get into it.
It sounds like a lot of fun. How much is it right now? Or how much was it during the flash sale?
I think it was $15. So, and that was for the Game of the Year edition. So I got all the expansion packs like Nuka World, which lets you take over their version of Disney World. So it's like a bunch of Mad Max raiders who've taken refuge in a theme park, and that's where their like kingdom is. And then you can work your way up to become king or queen of those raiders.
Yeah.
And then the cool part is you can like hook the park back up. And so like you can go on this knockoff version of Space Mountain, which is like a Nuka Galaxy, I think is what they call it. And it's just like Space Mountain. It's so fun. It's so fun to ride through it, dude. It's so awesome. Oh my God, I love it. And there's all these different like themed lands in it, just like in Disney World with the like how there's California Adventure or an Epcot Center and all that other shit. So they have all those, and they all have these different cool rides that you can end up powering up and stuff on there. But then after you take it over, the thing I love most about it is then you get to go out into the Commonwealth and start raiding with your raiders. So you go and you attack settlements and kill everybody and take all their stuff, and it rules. I love killing these stupid, shitty farmers who are sitting there with their like ash all over their face, like trying to grow some shitty mutated beet, and then we like roll up there with spiked armor on, just cutting people's heads off, eating their corpses in front of them. Then like those shitty. Do you remember the Minutemen, Mike? The like goody two shoes faction of like Revolutionary War guys with laser guns.
Yes.
They keep showing up to try to stop us, and nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than putting those guys in the ground. We're like, Minutemen, form up. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. I'm going to hit them with the bloody mess perks, see their intestines fly across the screen. We're talking beheadings,
decapitations.
Guys, I've been into some pretty dark stuff lately. My Fallout character does horrible things.
Do you ever drag prisoners back to Disneyland or to Nuka World?
Yeah, I make slaves, yeah. And then you can also enslave farms. So you run over to the farms, and they're being defended by the Minutemen, and you kill all the Minutemen, and then you cripple the farmers. Like you cripple them so that they're hurt and can't leave. And then you tell them that they have to keep tilling the land and send all the food to Nuka World, or you'll come back and kill them. Yeah, it's great.
That's good.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
I
haven't played it in. When did it come out? 2008?
No, 2016 for Fallout 4.
2014.
2014.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was when I got my first PS4, was for that game.
I played it when it first came out.
I played it for a little bit, but my roommate was crazy. I mean, like fanatic about it. So I kind of ceded to let her play it. And then by the time it was my turn, I could tell that the level of investment was like WoW level. And any time I've been approached with that kind of game since WoW, I just can't. I mean, it's sad because it's like I look at it and I'm like, it's almost like meeting somebody later in your life who you're like, oh man, if we'd met when we were younger, like you would have been like the love of my life. But like now I just have to go like, oh, that looks fun. You know,
I don't have the energy for this.
Yeah, exactly. So I know I would love it, but I didn't play any other Fallout, so I didn't have the dedication. Like the draw wasn't there, the nostalgia or whatever. Even though everything about it is well done and appealing and interesting and funny and clever and all that good stuff. It's just didn't happen for me. The one that got away.
Settlements or whatever, didn't you, on your phone? What's the one you?
I played Fallout Shelter, and
that's a fun.
And I definitely I fell in love with Nick Valentine because I love me a good robot detective. And he
is awesome. He's fucking awesome. He's a great character.
Mm-hmm. He's a great character too to run around with. He's actually useful. Yeah. You know? And I love that they put a lot of Philip K. Dick into that particular main story.
Yeah.
Like they put a lot of different elements of that kind of thing in there. And because already it was like very much Mad Max and the road and that sort of stuff from Fallout 3. And that I was kind of worried that I was like, they're just going to retread that over and over again. And I love that stuff. But even for me, it's like, it's going to get stale. Yeah. So I was really glad that they added in like a very high-tech sort of world, and also a way to do like what Andrew's talking about, where you have barbarians and stuff like that, and bringing sword and sorcery into that world a little bit.
Yeah, that part is awesome, Mike. Did you play the expansion Far Harbor with the mystery that Nick has to go with you and solve?
I did. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Dude, it wasn't that cool. And the voice actor who plays Dima, and that the robot in that is also the same voice as the guy.
Okay. Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then there's the one town. I think it's the town that the Minutemen are in. It's a hazy recollection, but there's a radio play that's basically like The Shadow.
Yeah, the Silver Shroud. Don't you love that quest, man? Isn't that awesome? You get to dress up as him and act like him.
Yeah, and I was like, that's a really fun thing to add in there. And they did a similar thing in Fallout 3 where it was comic book based, where there was like a superhero and a supervillain that were just destroying this town.
Yeah.
And they were like, if you'll take these guys out, you can have all their stuff,
Yeah, in that comic book shop where they filmed the Silver Shroud, you can get the Grognak, the barbarians.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you get that for your character?
Yeah. And then later when I took over Nuka World, I killed that idiot Sito, who's like Tarzan, where he's like, Sito, go slow. Sito, talk to the gorillas, and then I killed him just because I wanted his loincloth for my character. And it gives me the same bonus as the Grognak thing does.
That's hilarious. I didn't even think that killing him was an option, or I would have killed him a long time ago.
Dude, I couldn't stand listening to that dumbass. He was like, Sito, no, that big laser, do that. And I'm like, okay, come on, man. You're definitely going to die at the end of this. It's like that with all those games where you're like, oh, man, I love the jacket on that dude. It's going to suck. Yeah. I'm going to murder him for it as soon as this quest is over.
Yeah, in Fallout 3, like, one of the main bad guys had, like, Deckard's gun and coat from Blade Runner, and I was like, well, if nobody else dies today, that guy has to go down.
Yeah, it is definitely, that's when I think I decided to start just being evil, because I could not justify the fact that I was like murdering people for their stuff to make my character look cool.
Oh, have you guys been watching that thing on Netflix about video games, that documentary?
Yeah. What's it called again? High Score? What is it?
I think so. Yeah, High Score. And one of the guys doing the RPG talked about that, where he was like, I realized I designed a game where people were rewarded for being scumbags, and so I had to change it,
Dude, it is true. Avery, did you play, because they have Ken and Roberta Williams from Sierra Gaming. Did you play those King's Quest games and that kind of stuff on PC?
I love King's Quest. Yeah.
You love that stuff?
I love King's Quest.
Dude, isn't it great?
Yeah. I've tried a couple King's Quest things that are like packaged as the remasters or whatever, and they're just, I know it would be like horribly lo-fi by today's standards, but I want that little, like, the pixely, like the little picture, the little, and the little story underneath, and you click on stuff, and that's what I like.
Is that the game where the kid was trying to win, but he also wanted to be a peeping Tom? And the lion chastised him?
It's by the same company. That is Quest for Glory is what the game was called. It was originally called Heroes Quest. And then they ran into a copyright issue with Milton Bradley and Games Workshop, because they had produced the board game Heroes Quest. But it was supposed to be King's Quest, Space Quest, Heroes Quest. Like, they wanted to have all these different like
Yeah.
versions.
Quests.
Yeah, different quests. Whether you're a king or a space. Or
Quantity of quests.
But so remind me what happened to the lad.
well, there's a part in Quest for Glory 2 where there's this smoking hot princess who's been teasing your nutsack the whole game. And then near the end, she gets changed behind a curtain, and you can look in the cracks of the curtain and see her titties and vagina.
Now, can you actually see that on the monitor when you make that choice?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean,
But it's also like, as a kid, it was like so amazingly mind blowing. But looking at it now, I mean, it's like pixel. It's like
right. Yeah.
Micro.
It is a dot. I mean, the nipples are dots. The nipples are big. You know? So he did that, but then if you do that, there's this like super lion guy who's at the end of the game who congratulates you for beating the game
on the island of.
You did everything right, and your morality was 100% pure. In the next game in King's Quest, you get to become a paladin, which is really awesome, and you get to use magic and swords at the same time. But if you do that, he will specifically reprimand you in front of everyone and what a perv you are, and that you can never join the paladin ranks ever.
Wow.
Anyway, this dude, that happened to him, and he started crying. And his mom came in and asked him what was wrong.
Oh, no.
He told her what had happened, how he was going to try to become a paladin, order of flying lions or whatever. But
his true self betrayed him.
But he accidentally looked at the princess taking off all the clothes.
Accidentally.
And so the lion with wings told him he couldn't be a paladin. And she was super mad. She was very unimpressed with him crying about it.
My son sucks.
That's your first. I bet you she knew before then, and that was just the nail in the coffin. Like, God,
she was like, yeah.
She just writes in her journal that night, I have no son.
She goes to the husband and she's like,
we need to talk about your child.
You owe me $8 because my son sucks. And now I have proof.
I feel bad for the guy. I would have cried too. Probably.
Cried over not being in an army of virgins?
Yes, I would have. I don't know if I would have cried so much as gotten a sick feeling in my stomach and started sweating with profuse guilt. And
I would have been like, look, lion, you don't know what it's like being human. Occasionally, you have to see some movies. I don't want to be a paladin, and you and the rest of the virgins have fun in Fantasyland while I go get my fuck on.
That is what I should say to that lion. I think instead I would beg him for forgiveness and tell him how much I like Aslan.
Never look at another lady ever again.
Yeah. I will stay chaste forever. And Jesus. Those are some hardcore fucking lions.
I think it was easier in the Middle Ages. You know?
For people or for lions?
For both. Yeah. For both. They didn't have lion tender. What was lion tender? Roarer instead of growl.
I think winged lions had it pretty good in the Middle Ages.
Roarer. What is it? What is the name of the gay hookup app? Grinder. Yeah.
Only there's this grinder.
There's this. Yes, my diseased brain couldn't even make it to that joke. I was just taking one tiny step at a time, trying to figure out my way to getting to grinder, and I couldn't do it.
I've been alone for a long time.
Do you guys feel dumber with this coronavirus thing?
Oh
I
yeah.
can't find words. Like I say, I mean, yeah, I'm trying. I mean, just right now, like I'll try to say something, and not only do I not have the normal word, but the words that are coming to mind are like, no, that's not what I want to say at all. It's just like
Yeah.
my mind. How about this? This moves things along.
Yeah.
I told one of my friends I'm about a month away from becoming the cheese man from Treasure Island. You know, just, do you have any cheese, boy? Give me your cheese.
I just got real confused there because the grocery store I shopped at in Chicago was called Treasure Island. And I was like, who
Is
the
there
hell?
an actual cheese man?
Who the hell? What kind of poor cheese man is Mike talking about?
We'll just buy him some cheese.
It's just a guy drooling on himself, being like, 3 samples of brie.
I am allowed to have at least 4 samples.
3 samples of brie, these samples for me. He's just like, he's constantly eating cheese, and no one wants to take his gross drool-covered food.
I'm not even picturing an human. I'm picturing the fucking Muppet that wants to go to Hollywood.
Oh, yeah. With like big old neck rolls. I'd love to see a Muppet with some nice thick neck rolls. They never do that.
What was his name? Sweetums.
Sweetums.
Yeah. Sweetums, no, because Sweetums is still scary. This guy, the cheese.
Sweetums is scary?
Yes. Sweetums will fuck you up. We've done a whole episode about this.
And fuck you
Yeah,
up.
how he ripped your skin off.
Sweetums is a monster.
Sweetums in
category
our lore
monster.
killed George C. Scott like that.
Yeah, didn't he kill the Undertaker according to Power Pals lore?
I think so, yeah.
Sweetums will kill anyone.
You can't kill a dead man, but Sweetums could. By God, Sweetums reburied the Undertaker.
He might even be able to kill Kane.
I don't know. Yes, he definitely would, because Kane is all razzle dazzle with his rocket-powered skateboard and his black trench coat and his twin submachine guns with silencers on the front of them.
His dick grenades.
The keyboard slung over his shoulder that he's got a neural link to on the side of his temple.
Jesus.
For no good reason. No, not necessary.
His cybernetic vampire teeth.
Yeah, that shoot acid.
He rolls into the ring with all this smoke machine and like laser music and
All the
Entrance
pageantry.
song.
and then Sweetums just like tears him apart like a grizzly bear with a dog in the woods, you know, like just fucks him up.
Scattering his shit all over the fucking ring.
Dude, yeah, Kane would like shit in the ring as he was dying. Shit everywhere.
And his entrails were removed. And his kneecaps. All of his tendons were exposed.
You guys wouldn't like my latest dreams. We're talking Sweetums fighting. Sweetums killing the Undertaker. What kind of dreams are they? Now I am scared.
Kane would have enough time to say, "Time to die," and then Sweetums would just erupt in violence all over.
This is way scarier to me than dreams about mass beheadings. If someone said to me, "I've been having a lot of dark dreams lately. I've been dreaming about Sweetums
Cage matches with Sweetums and the Undertaker.
killing the Undertaker and then killing a cybernetic
Dildo.
skateboarder named Kane. Like, I would be like, let's give this dude a wide berth, let him keep handing out cheese samples. Oh my God.
Man, the return of Kane.
I would love to watch Kane get killed by
his ass handed to him by Sweetums.
Like the thing was, it wouldn't even be like a fight. It wouldn't be like an epic fight. It'd be all intro, and then on Kane. But Sweetums didn't have an intro for his gladiatorial combat. And then just 30 seconds of butchery. It would be just butchery.
I feel like so many sporting events are like that. Like, I mean, maybe not, but like horse racing in particular is like you spend all day watching like pre-show stuff on like Amp Up on like, here's our profile and the top contender. And the race is literally 2 minutes, you know? So you spent like 8 hours drinking, gambling, getting all hyped up, learning the backstory, being like, no, this guy, he's a real underdog. Like he's got the heart to win it. And I believe in him, you know? And like at the end of the day, you're like invested, and then 2 minutes happen and you're like, oh, it's done.
Oh, he didn't do any of that.
MMA can be like that sometimes. I mean, there's fights where it's one kick to the dome and the fight is over. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say like I know some boxing matches can like go on for a while, but yeah, I know every now and then you have something where it's like there's all this hype. It's a pay-per-view, like hundreds of dollar tickets to get like ringside seats in Vegas, and then one guy takes a bad punch, and it's like there you go.
The worst is when it's like it doesn't look that bad, like that painful. You're like, that's it? This guy, he's been training for months. And
that's crazy.
Elbow to the arm and he's fucking out.
Right?
That's the crazy thing about fighting is like you can be hit in a certain way that no matter how good and tough you are, your brain shakes in its own skull and you're out. You know?
Nope.
No. Like, what a weird profession, you know?
They did a really great thing in comics where Wolverine and Captain America get in a fight.
Yeah.
And Wolverine doesn't remember it, but he'd fought Captain America back in World War II. And Captain America remembered that he was this unkillable fucker even back then.
Yeah.
And he was like, now I know that he's got a metal skeleton on top of that. He was already fucking unkillable, and now he has a metal skeleton. And he goes, there's no way I can win this fight. Mm-hmm. But I have a shield that's made out of the same stuff. And so he hits him in the head with the shield so hard that he rings his bell and just knocks him the fuck out.
Yep, that's the way to do it.
And he's like, yep, that's the only way. I'm not going to win this fight, so I'm just going to knock him the fuck out before it starts.
The smartest way to take out Wolverine, because he still's got a brain in there, you know? Like
it's just getting rattled around an adamantium skull. You know?
Did you ever read the comic, Mike, where Hulk rips Wolverine in half on a mountaintop?
That was page 1 of that,
Speaking of Sweetums, like that was over in a hurry.
I will say the panel execution was fucking perfect, because on page 1, it just looks like Wolverine's having a great day on the side of a mountain, kicking back, and he's sleeping, and he wakes up and he goes, wait, how did I get here? And then you turn the page, and it's Hulk ripping his fucking legs off of him. Yeah. And just in very, very small text at the bottom, oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's how I got here.
Because it must be like, wasn't it like months later that he woke up on the mountain?
Yeah.
He had to regrow his legs.
Yeah, he had to go find them on the other side of the mountain, because the whole just tossed him, just fucked him up.
Yeah. Oh, poor Wolverine, huh? Can't catch a break. That's what you would have run into if you went into the desert to kill terrorists.
You really think the Taliban has a Hulk?
Yeah.
I think they have a means of separating your legs from your body, for sure.
They don't have anything close to a Hulk. I guarantee it. They don't. Scud missiles are not going to rip my legs off.
You don't know, man. Are they adamantium? Yeah, I guess if you have all of his powers.
If I have all of his shit, I'm fine in the desert for a while.
I take it back. You'll handle it.
I will. I will bring peace to the Middle East.
In the dumbest way possible. Stalking the desert with claws.
Yeah.
in the burning desert sun. Oh God, you would
Not for
hate.
long. First Jeep I catch.
I'm like thinking like with my true crime, like all the shows I watch is that like a lot of times when they cut people's legs off, they do it like they actually cut through like the tendons and things like that. So
Yeah.
how is Wolverine's skeleton held together? Could you possibly do that? Could you like remove his legs if you like if you like remove them at the joint, like took it out through the joint?
Yeah, if he's gonna sit still for that, you probably could.
Yeah.
Like you could just literally remove his skeleton from his body, but that is a lot
Yeah.
easier said than done.
Magneto did it. Remember, he pulled out the
Well,
coating.
yeah, Magneto's a whole other story.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you were just like hacking it, like if you were hacking at the joint, could you like cut away the ligaments? And
It would depend on how fast his healing
Wolverine,
works.
realistically.
It would suck because he would keep healing as you were cutting.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
you
good
know,
point.
like your hand might get stuck in his leg. You know.
That is true. That is true. The axe or whatever would get caught, and then muscle tissue would be healing around it, and then snick pop it out. You know.
Yeah. That's why, like, everyone's big plan is always to steal his blood so that they can have his powers too, but it just scabs over too quickly for them to be able to do that.
Oh, all you have to do is get his blood? That feels like it shouldn't
Well,
be.
that's what they figure that's a good starting place. If they can get his blood, they can, reverse engineer.
Why not just an IV?
Again, it's getting him to sit still for it. That's the real trick.
That's why you bring an IV man who can do.
Just attacks with hypodermics.
Like Freddy in Dream Master.
Yep.
Dream Warriors.
Dude, that's so funny. People think they can get Wolverine's blood. That explains why all those like soldiers were constantly like licking the ground. It's so funny, like Wolverine's blood all over the place. Like, get his blood, dude.
Well, they want everyone's blood. They want Spider-Man's blood, Hulk, Captain America. Captain America was the first guy whose blood they were after. Only with him, they got it, and that's how
Captain
you get
America,
the Hulk.
first blood.
Yeah, it was like the closest they got was the Hulk.
About.
Huh?
That's what Rambo was about. It was about a dude trying to enjoy his Captain America blood milkshake. Superpowers.
Did you guys see a movie that was basically like, oh, this is like a dark version of the Captain America story that came out last year, and it starred Kurt Russell's son? I want to say it was called Stronghold or something like that.
No.
It was really good, but it was like very much like Wolfenstein in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
But it was, these Nazis were working on this super soldier, but every version that they made was just a big fucking monster and was just wiping people out on this island. And so, like, the Americans go to destroy it, but also, like, of course, they're getting, one or two of them are getting secret messages of, like, oh, but if you could find that serum, that'd be great, because we want to use it, But it was a really good movie. I want to say it was called Stronghold, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you IMDb Wyatt Russell, it should come up. Anyone who's looking for it.
Maybe I'll pick it up on my phone real quick. Did you know that Kurt Russell was in the promo video for Disney's Halloween Haunted Mansion when it first opened?
You told me that, and I thought it was real cool.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
He has been around forever.
Overlord? Is that the name of the movie?
Overlord, that's it. Yeah. That is a good fucking movie. It is worth watching.
Actually a Captain America movie?
It's kind of like, You know how Brightburn was like a dark version of the Superman story?
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
That's kind of, I don't think they officially were trying to do this, but that's what this was for Captain America.
You know, people say that Event Horizon is actually secretly a Warhammer 40,000 movie.
Oh, okay.
About Slanesh and like the first, like seeing what the warp is in the first like thing. Like there's a ton of people who say this is secretly like this is a Warhammer nerd movie that's masquerading as like a mainstream horror movie.
That's pretty cool. I haven't seen that since it came out, and I thought it was amazing when it came out.
I really did like it, and the soundtrack is fantastic. So is Mouth of Madness soundtrack.
Into the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, dude, that fucking soundtrack is off the hook too. We're gonna wrap up this episode so we can do one more episode.
Ooh.
So, is there anything you guys want to plug before we go? Avery, I'll start with you.
No, I'm me. You can find me on the internet at Sick Horse. That's Sick Horse with a 0 instead of an O on all the social mediums. And then all my other relevant stuff you can find through there if you think I'm cool.
Like Rabbit Hole Reviews, which is...
Oh my God, thank you. It's actually, so I don't want to watch. I'm going to say this and then I'm not going to do anything for it. So October is coming up and I love the holidays. So Rabbit Hole Reviews is my kind of my blog thing and horror is my jam. So I'm going to try to do a thing for October for the holidays, for something for Halloween every day of the month, probably horror related. So if you like horror stuff, rabbitholereviews.com will hopefully have some stuff. Thanks, Andrew.
Hey, no problem. Mike, you also do another podcast where you have real life, true to God celebrities on there.
Yeah, that is the nighttime show, and it is a bunch of fun. And yeah, we just had Bradley Whitford, Danny Trejo, a lot of cool people coming up too. I can't remember the names of any of them, but that's happening. And I'm on all social media at Mike Black Attack.
And my name is Andrew DeWitt. You can find me on social media at DeWittiot. And then watch Misery Index on TBS, because I do the art for it. And, word up, guys.
Word up.
We'll talk to you soon. Let me stop this one.
Stop it.